This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Merciful Ajinma, and this is Africa Now. Cameroon's government said on Tuesday that a group of soldiers killed 9 villagers, including an 18-month-old girl, in a manifestly disproportionate and hasty response to a confrontation in the northwest region last week. The spokesman described the use of weapons as inappropriate and manifestly disproportionate. Cameroon's Ministry of Defense said 4 soldiers have been arrested following the shooting. An investigation has been launched into the killings. In politics, the West African Regional Bloc ECOWAS said on Tuesday that it regretted a decision by Mali's interim government to extend the transition back to civilian rule by 24 months while negotiations between the two sides were ongoing. Mali's ruling junta, which first came to power in an August 2020 coup, issued a decree on Monday fixing a 24-month timetable to be counted from March 2022. The 15-member Economic Community of West African States has been pushing for a shorter extension of at most 16 months. On anti-corruption matters, South Africa's governing party on Tuesday called for the swift extradition of Rajesh and Atul Gupta to face the allegations against them in South Africa after they were arrested in the United Arab Emirates. The Gupta brothers are accused of using their connections to former South African President Jacob Zuma in power from 2009 to 2018 to win contracts, siphon off state funds and influence cabinet appointment. They have not been formally charged in a South African court but have been sought by prosecutors over the allegations. A South African court has rejected the Mozambican government's request to appeal against a decision to extradite former Finance Minister Manuel Chang to the US. Last November, a Johannesburg court ordered Chang's extradition to the US, where he is accused of corruption, fraud, and money laundering. But the Mozambique government petitioned the South Africa's Constitutional Court for authorization to appeal against the sentence. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You're watching Africa Now. Business stories and more coming your way after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, Uganda has reached the middle income status despite an onslaught of crises in the past 3 years, President Yoweri Museveni said on Tuesday. According to official data, the nation's economy stood at about $45.7 billion by the exchange rate method or $131 billion by the purchasing power parity system 1 week to the Museveni expressed confidence that Uganda would maintain its spot above the middle income status GDP per capita minimum of about $1,030. The World Bank has slashed its annual forecast for global economic growth, warning that some countries are facing a major recession because of Russia's war in Ukraine and coronavirus. The bank said Eastern Africa and some parts of Europe were particularly affected. It said there was a real risk that stagflation, a combination of high inflation and low growth, could return for the first time since 1970s, spurred by increases in food and fuel prices. To Zimbabwe, the country has increased the price of fuel for the second time in under 3 weeks, blaming rising global fuel prices resulting from the Ukraine-Russia war. That's despite recently increasing the ethanol content to 15% in order to reduce the amount of imported oil used. Petrol will now cost $1.73 per litre, the Zimbabwe Energy Regulatory Authority announced on Tuesday, up from the $1.68 price announced on 20th May. Diesel will now cost $1.76 a litre, up from $1.74. Moving away from business, King Philippe's 6-day trip to the Democratic Republic of Congo is billed as a chance to build new ties after atrocities committed during the colonial rule. According to Belgium's Royal Palace, the king will discuss the question of returning artworks looted during the colonial era. Some observers believe the trip a chance for reconciliation after atrocities committed under Belgian colonial rule. It was the first time since 2010 that a Belgian monarch visited DRC, a territory that was ruled as a colony by northwestern European nation. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, do visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us in the German programs on TOS Television Network. I am Merciful Ajinamo. Thanks for watching.